VPN inside of Kali Linux. So make sure your Kali Linux is on and it's connected to the internet using NAT network. So if you open your Firefox, you can search for VPN books, and there are a lot of good free ones available on the internet. So what you want to do is actually search for OpenVPN books for free, okay? There are a lot of paid services as well, but of course I'm going to show you the free ones first, and if you want, you can just search for premium VPN books or premium VPN services for Kali Linux later on for yourself. And this is completely anonymous as well, by the way, because what we're going to use actually claims that they're not keeping any logs, they're not distributing any information to anyone, so they are completely anonymous. But since they are free, we cannot actually trust that. But over the years, I haven't experienced any issue regarding to that. So that's what we are looking for, free VPN book, OpenVPN. So I'm going to show you what an OpenVPN is, by the way. That's exactly the command that we're going to use in order to run these VPNs. So the first result over here is vpnbook.com, and this is the, most of the time I use this website. They actually provide some very good VPN books, and as you can see, there are a lot of results as well, but I came across with situations that my students couldn't actually make this work, but they had to go to another website to find other VPN books. Sometimes this happens, but sometimes, most of the times actually vpnbook.com works. So if you come over here, vpnbook.com, you will see that this has a lot of VPN alternatives inside of its portal. So what you want to do is to find the OpenVPN tab. So they generally put this a little bit down to the main page, okay? But of course, in time, they can change these things a little bit, but for years, it's looked like this. So I believe most probably you will have to scroll down a little bit and just click on OpenVPN tab. But it's important that you clicked on OpenVPN because that's what we are looking for. And if you click on this, you will see we have a lot of server options over here. And we have each for different countries, actually. For example, you can see this PL, DE, I believe this is for Poland, Germany. We have for US over here, we have 2 for US, and we have 2 for Canada, we have 2 for France as well. As you can see, we have a lot of options. So if you ever find yourself with a VPN that is not working, I suggest you come back here and try the other countries and try the other VPN books as well. And we're not even getting one VPN book out of these options. When we download one of these, you will see we will get some different options inside of one VPN book. And you can see the username and password over here. Beware that this password changes, so don't try to write your own password looking my own screen. You have to find your own password, okay? Because this changes, as I said. So over here, just choose one of the options. I'm going to go for Canada for a change, okay? I'm going to click on it, and of course I want to save this file, and this is a zip file. So this comes zipped, okay? So say save file, and it will put this into your downloads folder. So remember where your downloads folder, if you click over here, you can reach your downloads folder by double clicking on this icon, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make you practice a little bit so that you can get acquainted with Kali Linux in a better way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open my file system or home. What I want to do, actually find the downloads. So remember, if you click on this root, if you double click on downloads, you will see the VPN book. I have a couple of other files over here, but don't worry, you will just see this vpnbook.com. And that's what we have downloaded. In order to unzip this, there are a couple of options. You can right click on it and you can say open with archiver or open with just extract here option. And if you open with archiver, you can just select whatever you want from this list and just drag and drop them into your folder like this. And you can just unzip everyone one by one, or you can just choose everyone by holding shift. But I'm not even going to do that. In fact, I'm going to close this down and I'm going to delete what I have unzipped because I'm going to do this with terminal just to make practice, okay? So let me move all of these to trash and close this down. I'm going to make you practice a little bit so that you get used to these things. So double click on your terminal, or just click once from here to open a new terminal over here. And remember, you have to use change directory in order to go to downloads. So if you say ls, you will see the downloads over here, and you should write cd downloads with an uppercase D. If you write anything wrong like this, it won't open the folder. You have to write exactly the same. And in order to be sure, you can just write down and hit tab for completion, for example. Okay. And after you hit enter, you will go into your downloads directory. And if you run ls, you will see what are residing in your downloads folder. And we are particularly interested in this vpnbook.com OpenVPN ca222.zip. So I'm going to use, and I'm going to close this read down, I'm going to use unzip command. So this unzips whatever we want to unzip. So make a space and write VPN book and just hit tab for auto completion. So if you hit enter, it will unzip this VPN book for you. So if you run ls right now, you will see the content of it. So if you have experienced any issues in this, you can always double click on the archiver and just manually unzip them one by one. But I'm going to do this in old-fashioned way. So after you run ls, what you want to do is to run open VPN command. So this runs the VPN books. If you say open VPN with a space and specify the name of one of these VPN books, it will run the corresponding VPN book for you. So for example, we can just copy this by right clicking over here, or with Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. I'm going to say copy selection, and I'm going to paste the selection over here. So I'm going to hit enter, and it will run this VPN book for me. But of course, it will ask for username and password, as I said before. A username is VPN book. So let me come over here and write VPN book with only one B. Okay. And password, let's see what the password is. 2K3A6RW. Okay. Let me come over here to K3A6RW. Okay. After you write this, just click enter, and it will run your VPN book. So over here in the messages, we have to see something called something like sequence completed or initialization completed. It's stating something like the VPN book has started, VPN book is in effect. And as you can see right now, we're not getting anything like that, and it restarts. And if it continues like this for a minute, I'm going to stop this by hitting Control C, and I'm going to just use another VPN book from the list, okay? And if none of this works inside of Canada, I'm just going to go for another country, okay? And as you can see, it doesn't even start, I believe. So let's wait for another couple of seconds, and if it doesn't, I'm going to end this. I believe we are getting somewhere, right? We're getting some new messages over here, like that. And here you go. Now, we see the initialization sequence completed. Yeah, this is what we are looking for. If you see this, it means that VPN book is connected. So right now, what I want to do, I don't want to close this terminal down. Right now, if I do Control-C or close this down, VPN book will stop. So whenever you want to stop your VPN connection, you can hit Control-C or close the VPN book down. But I don't want to do that right now. In fact, what I want to do is to test if this really works or not. So I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to go for google.com. So in order to understand this, I'm going to see if my internet connection actually works. As you can see, I can connect to the internet. It means that it's working. So if you cannot connect to the internet at this point, don't worry. I got a lot of solutions for you. Most probably you will have to change your DNS or change some settings. But for me, as you can see, if I search for what is my IP, I'm getting a completely different IP address than my original IP address. If I click over here to whatismyipaddress.com, I can confirm that I'm in another country, maybe in Canada or maybe in any other server. I don't know. Sometimes countries do not even match, okay, in VPN books. But it doesn't matter if you change your IP address. As you can see, I'm inside of Warsaw, actually. I'm inside of Poland, and I have completely different IP address. So I managed to conceal my real one. Okay, so again, if you haven't made this work, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to make this work. But if you fail to make this work, I suggest you hit Control-C and search for other VPN books from here. For example, download this and try with US, try with DE, try with France. If none of this works, most probably you will have you have some kind of an issue. And issue mainly resides on DNS. So we're going to change our DNS servers. But sometimes you will have to call your internet provider to check if they blocked VPN usage in your home. And sometimes if you're in a college or if you're in a workplace, sometimes the IT administrator of that college or workplace may have blocked the VPN usage as well. In that case, you have nothing to do but just try with another connection. Maybe you can open a hotspot from your phone and connect to the internet by using that hotspot and try VPN book with that case. But right now it's working for me, and I'm going to show you one last thing before we move on to the DNS change. I'm going to open a new tab and say about with a column config. Okay, this one, config. So if I hit enter, it will show me an warning message, and I'm going to say I accept the risk because we're going to change the configuration of the Firefox over here, and you can uncheck this to not see this message anymore. So over here in the search bar, I'm going to search for something called media, okay, and media.peer, P-E-E-R. So what we're looking for is media.peer connection.enabled. So if this is false for you, then it's great. But if it's true, double click on this to change the value, okay? If you double click on this, as you can see, it changes. So we want this to be false. So why do we want this to be false? This actually turns off something called WebRTC. So this is spelled like this, WebRTC, and this is actually a technology that lets us connect with the internet or some kind of connection technology, but it actually leaks our original public IP, okay? So if we disable this, we won't see any issues with our connectivity, but we will secure that our public IP is concealed. Okay, so do not forget to do this. Even if it's not working for you right now, we're going to make it work. Just turn off the peer connection in the about config section. Okay, so I'm going to stop here.